Jack and I had been running through the wild. We were ambushed and attacked by a pack of wolves. We were able to fight them off and patch ourselves up, but we decided it was best to find somewhere to sit for a bit, rest up before we moved on. The merry men were close. Mick and the boys let us take shelter there for a while, and while we waited, a couple of other individuals showed up from the trail. Turns out one of them had quite a lot to say, so Jack and I sat quietly and learned what we could from the strangers.
What sort of fascism are you fighting against?
The
Good question.
kind that is bad. Well, so I don't like to use specific names, but let's all think for a little bit. When you think of a large group of people that uses fear and dread to make their enemies submit to them, and make people change the way they live, and criticize the people they live in their traditions, in a cultural genocide, whoever you're thinking of right now, which I'm sure we're all on the same page. Thing around your neck kind of reminds me of them. But...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Damn.
Yeah, so you're all free to get in touch with me. The plan is to show the people at the top astounding amount of people who oppose
You
them.
might want to go and have a word with people at the village and also the Fireflies. They might be interested.
I'm in touch with right now. I'm in touch with the Golden Peppers, the Boys of Brenna, Dark Carnival, Merry Men, NFA. Who else? God, a lot of people, and a lot of them are enthusiastic, to say the least.
You're the second person with this kind of idea in mind I've come across today. So it
Do
seems
Who's
Miles,
that?
where'd you come from? You know, Ego his name is. He has a similar plan, I
Ego.
believe.
I had to wonder about Daco's plan. I'm sure the boy thought he was doing the right thing, but was he being too naive? With so many factions interested in his plan, were they all just vying for the same position they were vowing to eliminate? Perhaps those factions had their own reasons for wanting to remove the piece from the top of the board.
There will be a time, and there will be a place, and the people of the world who want to try to run things from under their boot, they're gonna
Then
be
you
gone.
declare yourself as king, yeah? Start a monarchy.
If only I had that kind of ideology. Personally, I just like running my clothes store. I just don't want some giant threat. You know, anti-fascism really has its stems in anarchy, which is what Chernara should be. I mean, at the end of the day, people should be able to live however they want and under one central government, one central ideology. We run into problems.
I agree there.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Not necessarily a fan of anybody that's trying to force their rules and their laws on unwillingly.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. I'm sure we'll get along then, all of you. This has been good. I'm glad I stopped by.
Yeah, well, you're always welcome. Seem like a good guy.
Appreciate it.
Good intentions.
Thank you. I'll be in touch with some of your people with a means of which you can get in contact with me within the context of this conversation. That way we can communicate a little bit more efficiently. How many astounding amounts of people are ready to jump at that? It's promising. Hoping that people will be able to cast aside their differences to fight the one true thing we all know to be dangerous.
Yeah.
I'm kind of keeping myself vague for the sake of not being murdered, but I think everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, hope you got a real good plan, partner.
So things will
those
things
kind of
will go
folk,
well.
Yeah.
they're pretty
Well,
good
curious
at what they do.
what it might be, to be honest.
Now, the two of you, you're somewhat new around here, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, somewhat, yeah.
I guess you could say that.
Now, you've spent most of your time up north, right?
That's a
Yeah,
fair
we've done
assessment.
quite a
Yeah.
bit of traveling up here.
Yeah, so you're just out of reach generally. Not completely, but generally of the claw that wants to tear you down, but when you get a chance, go to Solenogorsk and Bor and find out what I'm talking about. Or don't.
Hmm.
And just trust me blindly, but it's not really my style.
You know, in my experience, you cut down one claw, another one grows back, and I think you should just be careful who you're aligning yourself with, because one seat of power is emptied, somebody else is going to want to take a seat.
It's very true. And I think that's what
I'd
it'll stand
almost
for.
say
If you'll
it's already
excuse me,
happening.
you'll excuse me, I really quickly, the voices in my head are talking to me. Let me take some pills. Holy shit.
Bit of a squirrely fella for a cult leader.
I
I'm
don't
not
think
a
he's a cult leader.
leader.
He just got big plans.
Well, a lot of cults have big plans too.
Alice seemed like a no-nonsense individual. She was quiet, but not shy. She was reserved, or maybe even calculated. Of course, me opening my big mouth, who can blame her for wanting to know who was speaking out at this kind of meeting?
What are you two about? I mean,
Who
Dick was
me?
telling me something about. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're wandering at the moment. Three of us kind of got together from an old friend and got us to group up. We just thought we'd take a look around, wander the northern road, see what kind of business we can get into. Yeah, nothing too concrete. We kind of keep things moving.
You don't have a name for your group?
Well, we were all part of the Spades Motorcycle Club, so we kind of stuck to that. But I don't know if it best describes who we are today, but I guess it best describes who we once were.
You
Yeah,
know there
we
is
don't do-
another motorcycle club running around.
We've
Yeah,
heard things. Yeah, we've heard
we're,
things.
We're aware.
Haven't been lucky enough to run into them yet.
Lucky.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it luck. Probably fucking out that you haven't. Every time I've talked to them, they got a plan on how to get something out of you, or they're gonna take it by force.
What are
Well,
we talking about? Sorry, I just...
it just means they
Just
got
taking
more
more
things
away.
that
yes.
can be taken from them.
I was up there in Nagorno yesterday, actually. Heard rumors that somebody took a C4 charge and blew up all their motorcycles up there. Never got eyes on it, though. When I got close enough, there was this guy getting just totally overrun by a bunch of zombies. So, in the merry men that we were, we went to try to help, and it happened to be a member of the masquerade. And he and his
Interesting.
two buddies that were in the background decided to sort us out. It was a decent little gunfight, but got quite the headache
where-
from that.
Is that where they reside up there, up in Nagorno?
I don't think they have any place they call home. I think they travel just like y'all. They probably have some stashes around, places they store equipment, but they're not easy on territory.
From what
They're
I'm
around to
told,
pretty much cause problems with everybody.
I'm told folks haven't been too bothered by them lately, but maybe they're just being polite. I don't know.
I guess it depends on
Well,
who
the
you are.
Forsaken
'cause-
Loyalists or the Masquerade?
The loyalists, the Forsaken loyalists.
Yeah, loyalists haven't been around in a few months, actually. We had a conflict with them that just kind of ended up stale. Could never find them.
Yeah.
Never had any conversations after that.
Maybe they just couldn't
Kind of
cut it.
vanished. Well, I hear they were a rough and tumble group, for sure. But I don't know.
As group talks came to a close, Jack and I said our goodbyes and headed on our way. It seems we had more questions than answers after our little meeting, but we at least had a direction, or maybe even several directions to head in. And that, I suppose, will have to be saved for another story.